Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. This is your first time. Thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. Right now, we're going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Gemini, I asked your collective energy what this reading is going to be about. And I was shown a mother freaking monkey throwing shit at you. Like, what the fuck? Like, is that fake shit or is that real shit? Like, why are you throwing shit, you naughty ass monkey? I got offended. My husband is a Gemini. Motherfucker, you throw shit at my husband, we gonna have a motherfucking problem. I will grab you by your freaking mammalian tail. I will kick your ass, little monkey. Size 9 foot up your little monkey ass. That's what's gonna happen. I'm just saying, I got offended. I was like, why you showing me a monkey throwing shit? Let's see what's going on. Let's get some cards. I'm going to pull all your guys' cards at once. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think with the whole monkey monkey thing, you know, it could refer to your monkey mind creating a shit storm for you where there's really no shit storming. It could be that. Oh my God. I am refusing to look at the cards until I'm done pulling cards for you. Let's just one more shuffle. All right. Not even look at what the cards are. I think we're gonna need to. Oh, no. Want to talk in terms of monkeys? We're bringing out the kites. Okay, we're gonna do some kite cards for Gemini. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Going through the same thing. Okay, card number 20. Softly, softly, the tender touch. Gemini, the monkey is you. Oh my God, I hope my husband's watching this. You the monkey, mofo. Stop throwing shit everywhere. Okay, Gemini. All seriousness. I love y'all a lot. Gemini is my most favorite sign because y'all are crazy. Shit talking crazy. Not all Gemini, of course. But for those that this is going to resonate with, it seems as though you've been holding a lot in and it's about to come out like word vomit. Okay? You haven't been very compassionate with yourself. I'm not saying this as a judgment. Gemini really is my most favorite sign. I tell you, my husband's a Gemini. My assistant's a Gemini. One of my most bestest, dearest friends is a Gemini. One of my most trusted associates is a Gemini. I'm just Gemini'd out. I'm a Gemini addict, I think. I think I've been collecting Geminis. Shit. But here's the thing. I do know, having so many Geminis in my life, y'all don't really say what's upsetting you. You don't talk about it. You don't express it. This is true for pretty much every single Gemini I know. You're very, very private, and that's not a bad thing. You know, you don't have to share all your deepest, darkest secrets and fears with everyone. But there are some who need to hear you express yourself. And I think for the Geminis that this reading will resonate with, you're getting close to the edge of word vomit. And if y'all don't know what it's like to piss off a Gemini, the shit that comes out all your mouth. Like, damn, from both sides. Like, which side of the twin am I talking to? Which side? Just a lot of information. So that's what you're at risk of. Okay, your mind is creating quite a bit of a shit storm within you. And I mean, I can't quite discern yet whether someone is triggering you or it's the shifting in energy that's causing this to rise up, because this seems like it's really, really old things that are being agitated back to the surface. So it might just be a part of your ascension process. Okay, but just know you're about to snap at someone. You're about to snap at some. What is this? Skittles on my leg? Let's just put this right here. It's a piece of a Skittle. Card number 37, Morgan, Death and Magic. Okay, it makes more sense now. So for Gemini, what I personally know about you, what I've witnessed, observing other Geminis, you like to keep things very superficial level. Not that you're a shallow or superficial person, but it makes you uncomfortable to go deeper, you know? So you like to keep things very light. You like to just kind of be fun, nothing too heavy, nothing too serious, joking around, very charismatic. That's why I really like Geminis. You guys have such a charisma about you that prevents people from trying to get deeper. Well, here's the thing, it's in the depths that your magic is contained. And I think what's going on with all the energetic shifting, your magic is trying its best to be released and rise back up so you can access it again. In order for that to happen, many of you will be experiencing what absolutely feels like a spiritual death. Okay, it's just kind of a part of your process, the dying of the version of you that you thought you knew you were, because you're really not that person. You have so much more depth than you ever let other people witness. Okay, um and that's not a bad thing, because I'm totally of the mindset that not everyone should know everything about you. It's not that you should keep secrets, it's that it's a very huge honor to know um, the very events and memories that are forming you into who you are. That's an honor. You know, not everyone deserves that honor. Not everyone is worthy of that honor. So I totally respect your need to, you know, keep things lighter and not reveal everything. But at this point, it's detrimental to your spiritual growth. So that's not going to be allowed by your higher self much longer. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to become someone who just says everything to everyone. No. It means that you'll probably experience some sort of circumstance or moment where all of that just comes to the surface and you just word vomit, and you take all that shit and you just start throwing it. Throw it. Throw the shit. Throw the shit. Don't aim at me though. I'm just saying. It'll hurt my feelings. So card number 38, Lullaby. This tells me that for some of you that are resonating, you're not ready to consciously choose to flow with this process, and it's like you're trying to get yourself to fall back asleep. So, I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. You can pretend, you can definitely pretend, but actually going back to a state of like sleep, spiritual sleep, I don't think it's going to happen. You know, once the mind has been stretched, you can't unstretch it. You just can't. You can't unsee something that you've seen. Have you ever seen someone that you detest naked? You can't unsee that. You can't unsee that. I mean, granted, I don't think I've ever seen anyone that I don't like naked. I just like to avert my eyes quite a bit. Thank God. Thank God. but I've never experienced that, thankfully. So yeah, you're not going to be able to unsee it. Once you see these aspects of yourself, it's going to keep nagging at you until you actually do it. And here's why. Card number 2, the bicycle. 2 of diamonds. What this card is telling you is that your magic, these aspects of yourself that you've kept hidden for most of your life, it's just like riding a bike. You're never going to forget how to navigate those parts of yourself. Okay. You're just not. You're never going to forget it. You're going to be able, my Gemini husband, he's the old ass. He's not that old. He's a little bit older than me, so I like to tease him and call him an old ass. But he be riding BMXs, and the other day, other week, whenever the hell that was, it was like raining. And he was outside riding his BMX, and I look over, and this mofo is standing on his BMX as it's like bicycling itself. He's riding it like a surfboard. And he's telling me this is one of my favorite things to do. Do you have the insurance coverage for that shit? I was like, you better get off. You better get off that bicycle. That's why you can't have a motorcycle. So I just want to say, you can't unlearn how to ride a bike. Once you know, you might be a little bit rusty, but you're never going to not know how to ride a bike. Okay. And if y'all can message him and let him know, he doesn't have enough insurance coverage to be riding a BMX like a surfboard. But it was hot. It was sexy. I was just like, look at you. Anyways, card number 8, be the hunter, not the hunted. So although this sounds all like dramatic and shit, you're not hunting anything, okay? Gemini, we're not asking you to hurt anything, hunt anything. This is about you being a giver and never allowing yourself to receive. Okay. I think because there are certain aspects of Gemini where if you allow yourself to receive, you get a little comfy with it and you're like, yes, more, more, more. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That doesn't mean you have to completely go without just because you enjoy receiving. So now it's time for you to recognize you deserve to receive. You definitely need to allow it, get out of your own way. This includes messages from soul. This also includes organic activations. Gemini is going through a lot of shifting, and that's because you're elevating in your frequency. Okay. You're not going to be existing at a superficial level for much longer. It's going to definitely go much deeper in a more outwardly visible way, because you were never really a superficial person. You just give that impression. You know what I mean? And I don't mean superficial like shallow. I mean like you don't necessarily like to talk about deep things with strangers because you're very personable. And most Geminis I know, I mean, they be the life of the party, and they keep everyone entertained, and they get everyone to talk about themselves, but they never reveal anything about themselves. I'm like, I see what you're doing. You're getting everyone to spill their secrets, but you're tight-lipped and you're doing it so charismatically, no one notices. Except for me, I notice. So card number 19, the in-between. Gemini, you're in that in-between phase, okay? Where it's you're still capable of doing what you have always done, which is not reveal too much about yourself and get people to feel so comfortable they give you all their secrets, and being a very deep person. Because really, if we look behind the facade of what Gemini shows, what Gemini is comfortable with other people knowing, you're very deep. You're very, very deep. That's how you're able to store all of that juicy gossip shit about yourself, because you're deep as fuck. You store it real deep. I be knowing. So right now you're in that space that's in between very, very deep and very, very uncomfortable for you, and superficial and comfortable because you don't have to share much of you with anyone else. And you don't have to go super duper deep. Not everyone can handle the depth of who you actually are. Okay. But you also don't have to partition yourself to this shallow end of the pool where it's just your ankles. You're really not enjoying where this is going. Okay. So right now you're at the in between, and that's okay. Card number 25, protective nest. You have every right and every reason to protect your nest. Not everyone that's before you is looking out for you. Okay, that's why I don't want you to feel as though you're doing wrong or being judged for um, not revealing much about yourself. No, it's a protective thing. You absolutely need to discern who deserves to know and what they deserve to know. Not everyone. You're not some freaking book in a library. Can't nobody just thumb through you. No, I don't think so. No thumbing. I'm just saying. That's my new Gemini saying. Okay. Can one of y'all write that down and message it to me later? No thumbing. Love Gemini. You are not an open book, and that's okay. You are exclusive and selective. Okay. Jack of Hearts. You're needing to take time to yourself. Gemini is a sign that doesn't necessarily like to be um, fully alone, like physically or socially. And that's okay too. That's okay. Y'all are fun as hell. Y'all are fun as hell. I like to be around Geminis. But you're needing to tell yourself to spend time with yourself. You need a reset. Okay, this is about quieting everything down. I think it has to do with the monkey mind going cray cray and just talking hella shit to you. You have to quiet that down. Spending time in nature greatly helps this. You definitely need a reset. Definitely. So we going camping. Daddy, if you're on this live, I would like you to get our tent ready. We going camping. Oh shit. Okay, now it just got serious. Hold on. Let me look at this shit. All right. Where do you camp? In the woods, right? In the woods. So card number 26, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Notice how this is in the woods. All right. There is more than just your monkey, Gemini. It seems like there is a parasitic attempt to cause an overstimulation of the monkey mind. Don't allow it. Right now is what you need. Right now, what you need is the depth. The superficial existence, that's what's making you accessible. That's what's making you accessible. Okay. I'm trying to control myself from spewing. Uh, okay. I'm back in control. So here's the thing. There is a parasitic attempt on Gemini energy to access. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean you have a parasitic infestation. Parasites can definitely continue to uh, amplify disharmonic thoughts from outside your field. They can definitely do a lot of thought and emotional manipulation. Okay. Just like right now, an individual was brought onto the live to comment things about, stuff. And it doesn't have any effect unless you give it footing within your field. Okay. It doesn't. It really, really doesn't. Now, you can allow yourself to have an initial reaction, just like I had an initial reaction, like I wanted to say something, but, but you have to recognize when you engage it, you allow it in. Okay. You then begin to commingle those energies. And that's how I was like, nope, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Because what I wanted to say was not productive. It didn't solve anything. It's not productive. So you just don't say it. Now, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. All right. Calm, collected. Gemini, we're not just going to react. We're going to quiet down our mouth until we understand what we want to respond. A response and a reaction are very, very different things. They're two very different things. One half of the Gemini twin wants to just react. That's a toddler half. The grown half is now needing to come forward and formulate the proper response. Okay. This is about you really coming into your power. This is about you recognizing you have the power and the responsibility to cultivate the environment around you. Okay. You have that obligation to yourself. It doesn't matter if you got someone that's trying to egg you on to have, toddler behavior. No, no, that doesn't matter. You take responsibility for how you choose to be. Now, card number 24, Mermaid's Love. Mermaids, our perception of mermaids is so twisted at this point. If you look back in history, sirens, mermaids, they weren't like the Little Mermaid. They would sing to enchant you before they kill you. Look it up. I'm not making this shit up. So there are those who will sing sweet songs just to enchant you, to get you derailed, to get you unfocused on whatever it is you need to be focused on. Just like there was comments that were like sweet songs of conflict, because there is this part of me that exists that I'm not in denial of, that is entertained by the conflict. Do I initiate the conflict? No. But I get entertained engaging in it. And no. Nope. Right now is not about entertainment. Right now is about standing in the light of my truth and standing as a template for, other people who are trying to figure out how to calibrate their spiritual journey. You don't always have to show up to every single war, every single battle that you're so generously invited to. You don't have to. Okay? Now is a time for you to focus. Don't listen to those songs of the sirens anymore. Hear the sirens for what they are, alarms. That's what I was just told. Card number 8, Bridget, creative spark. So you have a creative spark within you. Get creative in the ways in which you are going to address the sirens in your life. I think people are going to try to intentionally trigger you, whether it's people, circumstance, or energies. I think there's an intentional attempt to trigger you. 81% at 1218. 939. Mirrors. Right now, you are in the middle, sandwiched between divinity. The divinity of who you once were and the divinity of who you are allowing yourself to become. And in between that sandwich, in the middle of it, is a number 3, a very solid, secure foundation from which you can stand. And that's what this is about, allowing yourself to create a foundation from which you can stand so you can't be rocked from center. Whether you want to be superficial or very deep, it doesn't matter. You still have that solid foundation that stays with you. So this is not about like, oh, it's wrong for you to be like this. You have to be. No, this is about realizing you exist in a totality. You're not just superficial. You're not just deep. You can be both. And you get the final say in what you want to be for every single moment. If you want to be superficial and, engage and be funny and, put them in their place in a funny way that entertains you, that's fine. If you want to be deep and like, no, I'm rising above this, I'm spirit, that's fine too. But just know you're everything. You're not just one or the other. And here you go, Two of Hearts, about embracing all your parts. Okay, Gemini, this is about totality, allowing yourself to begin existing in a totality finally. All right? Totality. I have lint in my hand. Card number 34, in the world, not of it. Allow those silly ass fish to swim by. Okay? Silly assholes. Let them swim by. Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to point out to them that they're being a silly hoe. I mean, the hoes know who they are. Okay, they're hoish and they know. They know. They know. So just free fall back into your greatness. Don't let it bother you. There is an attempt to trigger you. Does she look triggered? No, she doesn't. So you have to embody this type of mentality, this type of energy, this type of perception filter. Don't let it bother you. That's another thing I notice about Geminis. They don't necessarily say when something's bothering them. They keep a lot of their feelings very quiet and close to their chest, but they do get irked by things easily. Okay, small things can irk them. And that's okay. But you just have to recognize there are things in creation that recognize this about the Gemini energy, and it will utilize this and harness it against you. So if you're going to allow yourself to continue to be triggered, I mean, that's your choice. It's not right. It's not wrong. It just is. But no, every time you get triggered, you experience a temporary, acute plummet in frequency. Every time you have an acute plummet in your frequency, acute drop, you're susceptible to breach. So what's more important? Not being breached or reacting? And you're the only one that can decide which one is more valuable for you in that moment. I mean, you can't always be one thing. Okay. You can't always be like, I can't because I'm going to be breached. No, sometimes you just need to be reactive. Sometimes you need to be responsive. So this is about understanding. You're swinging between poles of creation. Do you got food for me?
No.
Sorry, guys. He came in the room looking like he was carrying a bag of tacos. I got excited.
Oh, I thought we're done with those.
He's taking me to Korean barbecue. We ain't done with Korean. Just saying. I need to be fed. Card number 10. Danu, assurance. Assure yourself that you are okay exactly as you are, where you are. Your process is very unique to you. Not anyone, no one. The fuck am I trying to say? No two people will be at the same place at the same time. You lost your cock-ass mind taking my Skittles. Not only did he not offer me food, he's now taking from my Skittles. See what I'm talking about, Gemini? Y'all, that's a lot of love that he didn't lose his hand dipping into my Skittles bag. Just saying. Reassure yourself that you're exactly where you need to be. Okay, Gemini? Because you're so private, it's very difficult for anyone to really know where you're at. In your mind, in your heart, on your spiritual path is very, very difficult. And it's no one else's job to reassure you. Okay? You have to begin reassuring yourself at this point. That's another thing that I do pick up on Gemini energy. You have a tendency to not be willing to reassure yourself. And you keep it so quiet, you don't tell anyone. Gemini, you got to reassure yourself. Sometimes you got to just like take a moment, like, it's okay. It's okay. Card number 21, tiny triumphs. This card just bothers me. I see this card and I feel like something is mimicking your higher self, and it's a rat. It's a rat, and it's trying to just distort the messages from your soul. The crow is a messenger from soul. The rat is a rat. Careful who you listen to. Okay, Gemini? You have elevated levels of discernment. Be careful who you listen to. Listen to yourself. Make sure that when you speak to yourself, when you commune with your higher self, that it's truly your higher self. Because obviously, all of these cards are trying to say that uh, there is an active attempt to try and trigger you, to try and gain access to you. Don't give access. Don't allow yourself to be triggered, at least while this cycle is going. Okay. And if you do get triggered, don't stay in that triggered state. Remind yourself, if it was allowed by my higher self, then it's to usher in an ascension cycle. Okay. Ascension cycles are the way your soul grows. They're like rings on a tree. You will continue to have ascension cycles for as long as you live. So just find that happy center place for you. Okay. 3 of clubs. What does this card mean? 3 of clubs. Ooh. Study, obsession, collection. Oh, okay. Let me just get a couple cards. Before I say something, I want to confirm because I don't want to say something erroneous and cause you to fixate on it and call it to you. So, not call it to you, but manifest it. Okay. Let me just shuffle again. One more time. One more time. All right. Here we go. So, 5 of staves in reverse, trickery, contradictions, complexity, involvement. King of staves in reverse, severity, somewhat excessive and exaggerated ideas, dogmatic, deliberate. Knight of swords in reverse, incapacity, imprudence, dispute or ruin over a woman, impulsive. Okay, that's confirmation. What I got from this card is something is observing you. What is the thing? And collecting information. Hold on. Yeah, study, obsession, collection. Something is observing you, collecting information, is trying to see how it can trigger you. It's trying to see weak points, connections that can be exploited, connections with other people that can be exploited to affect you negatively. And are you going to allow that? You know, Gemini, are you going to allow that? Or are you going to bunker down? Are you going to prepare yourself for a very, very intense ascension cycle? If you haven't already started an ascension cycle and this reading somehow resonates with you in some way that you don't quite understand, just know you're about to start an ascension cycle and it's going to be a very difficult one. Okay? It's not an impossible one. I tell you that it's going to be a very difficult one, so you can begin mentally preparing yourself to handle everything you need to handle because you got this shit. Okay? No more of that monkey mind throwing shit everywhere. Collect all that shit, let it ferment, and turn it into the fertilizer that's going to grow you. I suddenly just got real serious mama bear status. No one fucks with my Geminis. Seriously. Take that shit, turn it into fertilizer, and use it to grow yourself. No one can fuck with you unless you allow it. I'm so very serious. No one can fuck with you unless you allow it. Give no permission, whether it be passive, permissive, or conscious. Give no permission for this kind of bullshit. None. So, hold on. I don't know if I'm pissed off that this is being attempted with Gemini, or if I'm pissed off because there are no tacos and I now have Skittles missing. Sorry. Let me just shuffle this. Gemini, ask yourself the question that's been weighing heaviest on your mind and shoulders. You don't have to comment it out. Ask yourself the question, though. I'm going to give you an answer from your higher self. Okay? And if this doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate, and that's fine. Don't try and force it to resonate. All right, here we go. You ready? Go. The time is right. It's time. Okay? Go as deep or as shallow as you want to need. Listen to your intuition. Okay? Listen to your intuition. Final card. Whatever it is, it's unlikely. Ooh, my right arm is on fire. The arm that's holding this card is on fire. Like, wow. So, Gemini, keep your wits about you. You got this shit. Nothing's allowed to happen. That's not going to grow you. Okay? Nothing is allowed to happen that's not going to grow you. Say that a few times. Trust in your process. If you haven't already given this video a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on your notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I'm going to go get myself fed. And then I'm going to carry on with, we'll do fire when I get back from lunch. We'll do fire. We can burn this shit up. Just saying. All right, guys. Bye.